and undoubtedly there was a major time difference. But in Brazil, there's been some pictures coming out lately. I don't know if you guys have seen them about some abductions. You talk about cattle, having all their, heart, lungs, sex glands removed and all that stuff. That lately there's been a rash in Brazil and South America of abductions there, where instead of being cattle, it's actually humans being abducted. And some of that has just lately been coming out in the news.
Really? Like how many people are we talking about?
There's at least been probably about a dozen or so in the last couple of months in couple of different countries, and that were abducted. And naturally, that were not, like the eyes were removed, their tongue was removed, their sex glands removed, their heart was removed, and all that stuff. And it was done in such a way that, though the local villager couldn't have done it, it had been more than a skilled surgeon. Well, something.
Sure. Wow. Well, that does not sound like a pleasant experience.
I guess if I get abducted, I'm going to tell them to take my liver because it's pretty much already dead.
Well, I can say this. Back in the 70s, going through New Mexico, me and my ex-wife, thank God, she's long gone, but we saw a bright light. And I thought I was getting pulled over, and I started thinking, well, why am I getting pulled over? The speed limit was like 100 and some miles an hour going through New Mexico at that time frame. And, it lit up the whole car. And I pulled over thinking, okay, it's a helicopter, military or police or whatever. I did something wrong. I pull off the side of the road that was like daylight. That's how bright it was. But there was not a single sound. Nothing. Here and out in the middle of the desert, you don't hear anything. You don't hear a helicopter. You don't hear the sounds of the blades on a helicopter. You hear nothing but silence. And then, poof, it was gone. Unfortunately, when I looked back in the car, my wife was still sitting in the car.
Aliens didn't do their job.
They probably scanned and took one look at her and said, "No way, we're not abducting that lady."
Well, actually, that's a good idea. If I don't want to get abducted, I'll just, bring somebody that the aliens won't want to abduct,
You never know. That you might think that they're the one that they wouldn't want to abduct, but then on the other hand, it could be 180 degrees opposite where they might want to abduct them because they wanted to see how that person even tied their shoes on and put them on in the morning.
You know what? Actually, they were probably wondering about me, How did he get up here?
Well, one thing you got to watch out when you're looking for UFOs. When I was a kid up in Camino Island, me and some friends went camping for the weekend. My parents dumped us there for the weekend. And we had this big spotlight. And, for the fun of it, we went off to this cliff at night. And there were ships going through the canal behind the Camino Island. And all that stuff. And we noticed a buoy light was flashing. So we figured, hey, we'll flash this light. And we ran a ship onto ground, a fishing boat.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah. And I mean, after the Rangers got done with us and my dad got done with me and all that. Yeah, man, I couldn't sit for a week or two. But what I'm getting at, okay, some of these people.
Was it the probe?
Yeah, I don't know. But, some of these people go out there, right? And they flash lights, high-powered lights or laser lights out in the sky, thinking that'll attract a UFO. And maybe it might. And maybe you might get a surprise.
That'd be terrible to run a UFO into the mountain like, oops, I didn't mean to, please.
Well, no, you're talking to your brother, and the next minute your brother's gone. He's been zapped up or vaporized, one of the two.
Oh, well, I'll get the insurance money.
Well, hopefully you stay current with the policy.
Oh.
That'd be a big letdown if you didn't stay current with the policy and you're thinking you're going to get all this money to do future filming projects and you didn't stay current.
I would travel the galaxies and I would whoop him.
So now, a website where they can go and see some of the stuff you've done to donate, to help you guys, do your project. how do these people find you guys?
Well, if they want to follow what we're doing right now, go to facebook.com/Wade Bros, and that we'll be posting regular updates. So we'll keep everybody up to date on this project. And I'll let Philip chime in on our previous projects where they can see those.
Yeah, so a great place to start, of course, is go to aliensversusbros.com. On there, we have a little video that explains kind of what we do and what our past project is, what our current project is. It's like a great place to start. We have links on there that'll take you to our Facebook page. That'll take you to our website as well. So, yeah, that's the place to go. There's also a link on there to our Amazon Prime. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Do I have it? No.
Okay, well, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch our last movie for free. We have it up on there right now. So, and if you don't have Prime, you can still watch it. It's just like $2.99 or something like that.
Okay, but what was the last movie called where they can go watch it for $2.99?
Yeah, just go to Amazon, punch in Manifest. That's it, just the word Manifest. The film is called Manifest, the Chrysanthemum Era. So the idea is that it's a post-apocalyptic world where aliens have taken over the government, which is not that out there.
And no, not nowadays. No, I maybe it might be true. You never know that.
Well, that's true. Those reptilians, you gotta watch out. So, but yeah, so it's basically this idea, and then there's this father and daughter and a son who are sort of living off the grid, and they're trying to not be a part of this alien system, and it's their challenges.
Oh, wow. How long a movie is it?
It's about 30 minutes, about half an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I think it might be an exciting watch, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. It played at it was the official selection at the Beverly Hills Film Festival. And then it was nominated for a grand prize at the Houston International Film Festival. So it's done its rounds, So it was mentioned. As a matter of fact, the governor of Oregon came out to see the film when we premiered it. We've had a lot of fun with it. It's been quite an experience.
What is the average cost with you guys from the start, doing the research, then, getting the people to be in the movies or documentary or whatever you're doing, then the cost of editing and then promotion and all that stuff? What's it cost you to produce a let's say an hour movie or a half an hour movie short?
Well, I think that would vary pretty wildly, depending on whether it's a documentary, a short, or a feature film, because each of those, cost different amounts. On our Mount Adams movie, which is, the drama it's a feature drama that we filmed last year, and we pretty much got it edited. I mean, we're really lucky. I'm really lucky to be working with my bro, Tim, because Tim is an amazing visual effects guy. He's an editor. He knows everything about post-production. And that's a huge part. I mean, it's probably a bigger chunk of the workload. So we're really lucky on that, because without that, if we had to hire an editor and pay $75 an hour, which is typically, a base rate of what they charge, we would be spending, $50,000 real quick just getting the editing done. So we're able to do a lot of things ourselves, which is awesome, but we do have some great people that we rely on as well. Like Dan Weiss, my associate producer, his son Josh, who's our camera operator. And we've had a mixture of volunteers and different people all over the place. I work 3 jobs, and so I take the money that I get from those and after I pay my rent, put that back into our film projects, and I've been doing that for a number of years now. So it's just kind of a part of our routine, to just keep things rolling down the track. And Tim is the same way. We just contribute what we can to our projects, and when people come out and help us out, that's awesome, and really bridges that gap and helps us to get to the next step. So we're excited to get ready to distribute our next our feature film, Mount Adams, not the documentary, but the drama. We're working on the alien monsters right now, and that's kind of Tim's department. So he's working on kind of the concepts and how we're going to incorporate these. And these are all in the computer, so they're 3D generated.
That's what really astounds me. Back in my day of photography, I mean, the 3D effects. Pretty much, hey, you used the wrong color string, or it's too thick. But things have so much. Remember the Stargate series out of British Columbia? I mean, if it wasn't for that series, they really perfected a lot of the effects, like the blood effects, the shooting effects, the creatures, the backgrounds. I mean, technology has moved so much in the last 10 years. It's shocking what you can do, like I had, like I said, a couple major producers on my show that produce, horror type movies and stuff where they have budgets in the millions of dollars. But, they said the day of, putting blood bags in, on a person, and shooting guns and, with blanks in it, all that stuff is like gone history. They add all that in, when they edit it.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I follow a lot of visual effects producers and supervisors, and the techniques and stuff. I mean, I was watching one project. It was about a football team, and the dirt and the scuff marks on the players was entirely digital.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. It was a major sci-fi movie about I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it was all done, in a studio, in a big, huge warehouse with green screens. And that movie produced millions and millions and millions of revenue. And, it was all done by, special effects. I mean, even the ground when they're climbing up on the side of the mountains, fighting and all that stuff, it was all, fake. But the technology is there now, and it keeps only getting better.
It's true. I mean, back when I first got into visual effects about 8 years ago, to where it is now, I mean, I can generate thousands of plants, trees, huge amounts of terrain. And I mean, this is stuff that, I can now do, big time visual effects studio quality stuff on a computer, in your own home. Now, granted, you have to have a really fast computer, but still, it's actually, it's available. You can actually render this stuff. You can do it. You can create it all right in your own home. If you have the skills, you don't actually have to hire major studios to work, to produce your vision. You can do it right out of your own home.
Yeah, and I think, for what you guys are doing, I mean, let's face it, if you were doing this 10 years ago, the cost would have been so much more. I mean, like, I was shocked when I was talking to one of the producers, and they said they made a full-length movie for around $250,000, $300,000, which generated, like in the high millions of dollars of revenue. Just off of a small investment. And they even had a couple major stars come in it. It worked basically for almost free, just for, to help them out. And technology is just there, and it just only is going to get better.
Yeah, I definitely hope it gets better. I mean, I'm definitely counting on it. Back when we first started producing this movie, some of the technology to get for the visual effects and stuff actually wasn't even around, or it was around, but it wasn't available to us. So we were hoping that by the time that we got into visual effects, that we could actually have access to this technology, and thankfully, it's like I can actually say that bet was a safe bet. It came through, And now we, it's like, all right, it's time to do the visual effects, and we're